Maigavan and Melanin. So today's video I'm going to talk about the function of the ego. I came across this realization and it really has helped me understand the ego is not a bad thing. And I have a whole different way and a perspective of viewing it. And it has allowed me to have a nice delicate dance between the ego and the superconsciousness, which is the godhood consciousness that all mystics are interested in reaching a oneness or a union with. So I wanted to show you this way of seeing ego. So the function of the ego is really to keep you separated from the oneness state. And that is in order for you to actually have the life experience that you are given. And what we have in the ego is it is not bad. It's not about arrogance or anything like that. It is your values, it's your dress style, your sexual preferences, your opinions, your looks, your friends that you choose, anything that makes you uniquely you is your ego. And some people really put themselves very much into their ego. So their self-identity is exactly who they feel they are on a very large scale, even in the universe. And sometimes they even feel that after this is all gone, then they don't exist any longer. Those are the materialists, those are the atheists. So they are very trapped in this idea of who they are. Mystics and people who are spiritual, what will happen is their ego will start to be a little bit more thin or transparent. So what will happen is your dress style, your values, your sexual preferences, your opinions, your looks, your style of friends, your choices of people that you hang around with, these are yours and it makes you uniquely you, but it's transparent enough where you could see on the other side and you actually can see and understand how everything is one as well. So even though you hold all of these differences and uniqueness to you, you also understand that there's a oneness that even through all egos on earth and in the universe, they are all interconnected and they are all connected to the oneness, the prime creative source that we all come from. And so this is what happens to a person's ego. It is still there. It absolutely is. But you're no longer attached to the ego, or this area is not a wall anymore. It's actually more of a thin type of veil that you can kind of peer through. So you still have all of these things that make you uniquely you. I still choose to dress as an elf. I still choose to play that role and to look that way and to have that type of style and to, have all my values and my opinions and things like that that make me uniquely me. But I also am aware of another reality beyond my ego in which I am connected and joined in oneness with everything. So the function of the ego is to kind of keep you separated from the oneness for a temporary time. It is a way, it's a gift. It's a way for you to experience your life through the fragmentations of the one source that we all come from. So I hope that this gives you a little bit more clarity into what the ego is. It is not something bad. It is not something that you need to get rid of. Those who are highly spiritual, such as monks, and those that practice really dissolving the ego, they do not join in the sexual preferences, the dress style, the values, the looks, the opinions. They try to keep themselves very neutral. And that's why you have priests in religion, some of them will abstain from sex. And then that's why you have monks that will look all the same in robes. Because the more you look the same, the more you take out the uniqueness of you, the more they feel that they can get in touch with the oneness source, which is what they are looking for. But you can actually do it. This is something that many people don't understand. You can actually do it through keeping your ego, being uniquely you, and having your life and looking the way that you choose, and also be also aware of the oneness source. So this is a very interesting place to be at, and some of you might be starting to experience this, where you are you have your ego, and you feel different from others, and you experience your life in a different way from others, but you also experience an interconnection and a oneness with others. And you don't have to abstain from sex, and you don't have to, dress completely in white robes that it's completely going to neutralize your style, and you don't have to kind of put yourself in like a neutral state in which you don't have a unique appearance or lifestyle, and you don't have to shut yourself into a monk monastery anymore. So I think that this is very exciting times where a lot of people are reaching a oneness and a unity and an interconnection to everyone and everything in the cosmos, but they don't necessarily have to rid themselves of the material world. But the material world and the way that they view themselves is merging with the oneness and the prime source that we all come from. So that is how I actually see the ego. It is not something that I try to get rid of. I just simply have it kind of be a little bit more transparent in me, in the sense that, yes, I choose to look this way, I choose to have these values and these opinions, and I choose to be different from others as everybody does, but I am also very much aware of my oneness with everything, and I see everything in unity consciousness now. So I hope that explained and gave you some more clarity into what the ego's function really is. It is a way of you being able to experience your life in the infinite perspectives that the universe has come to experience. And that is the prime creative source, the universal mind that we all come from, that fragmented itself in order to experience and to grow and to expand on its consciousness. And so your ego should not be a trap. It should not just keep you in a barrier, but you should be able to see beyond that barrier as well. And then that is where you have this dance of intimacy, where you have your ego and you have the super consciousness, but you're able to have both, and they don't trap you in this material world. When people get trapped in their ego, and I have a video on this about the different traps of the ego, this is where you start to feel like, this is it, your suffering is yours, and everybody hates you, and you need to go eat worms, and you should die. This is what happens to you, is that you get stuck in your friends. Say your friends leave you, they fight with you, they move away from you, they don't want to be with you. Say your sexual preferences, somebody doesn't like you in that way. Say your values and your opinions get stepped on over by other people's egos. Say your dress style is not accepted by others. If this starts to crumble down because you're dealing with other people's egos, that's when people feel very lost. You have to see that this is temporary. This is just for you to experience your life right now, and then to go beyond the veil and to connect to the oneness source. That way, any of this falls apart, any of this gets affected, does not matter. You are always connected to the oneness source. So Hananle for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.